Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So, got a question about someone. They were in Dutchess County and they said, can they do a deal with $500 down? So the EMD, the earnest money deposit, typically in New York is 10% of the purchase price. That shocks a lot of people in other parts of the country. It's one of the biggest differences about New York than other places. So it's a difficult thing to ask because it depends what the purchase price is. Is it possible? If it's a very low purchase price, you're buying something for $50,000, maybe you can. But the EMD amount, the amount of money you're going to put down as a deposit is always going to be a negotiation between you and your attorney and the seller and the seller's attorney, always. So you have to take into account the purchase price, right? Just throwing a number out there. The reason why I think I was asked that is because in other parts of the country, that's a number, $100, $500 is something that they throw out because there is no standard EMD amount. There is no standard deposit amount. So really it depends, right? Because in and around New York City and all the suburbs of New York City, it's going to be very hard because the real estate attorneys that are there are really conditioned to ask for 10%. And you can get a significant amount. I get away sometimes with $10,000. Now I know there are people. I have friends up in Hudson Valley and Westchester who say they get away with $500, $1,000. But to me, it's a hard sell, and it's almost not worth a fight over it. So I offer $5,000 or $10,000 on my deposits. Sometimes even that's a fight, and I have to decide. Right? Is it worth it? Sometimes the seller's attorney won't budge. And he says, you got to give us, I'm buying something for $300,000. You got to give us $30,000. Now, if it's a great deal, I'm not going to let the deal die over the amount of the deposit. But I usually say something to the seller before he talks to his attorney along the lines of, listen, I do a lot of transactions, and if I put 10% down on every deal, I'd be out of business. So I'm hoping we can make $5,000 work on this one. You want to say that before he speaks to his attorney, because if his attorney is almost always going to send your attorney a contract that has the full 10%. And then when your attorney goes back to him and says, well, they agreed on $5,000 or $10,000 or some other number, the seller's attorney is going to come back to his client and go, is this guy for real? Did he really say that? And then his attorney might say, and his seller will say yes. So it's such a crazy convoluted system in New York where the seller's attorneys, they just don't want to prepare a contract that they feel is not going to be strong enough to close. It's a crazy thing, but that's how they think. That's why there's no inspection contingency in New York, because they don't want to prepare a contract that someone can just walk away from. Right? In the other 49 states, the contract happens between the buyer and the seller, so no one's spending any of their professional time on it. But in New York, that's the way it goes. So is it possible to do a transaction with $500 down? Sure. If the seller agrees, and if the seller's attorney is okay with it, then sure. But I found most attorneys in the New York City suburbs area are not going to do a deal with $500 down. They just feel like it's too little. The guy can just walk away. But it may be different in other parts of the country. It may be different in Dutchess County. And it also certainly depends on the purchase price. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in finding out other ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in my coaching program, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you like these videos, please click like. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. I'll keep the comments coming. This came from a comment, so I hope you can keep asking me for topics. I get a lot of comments asking me for topics that I just covered, so I just send you the link to the latest video. So don't feel bad about asking me for something, or don't feel bad if you think it's too basic. There is no comment that is a problem. So please keep the comments coming. Thank you very, very much for watching.